This evening, dengue outbreak claims lives of 6 children in Guyana. Guyana Fire Service investigating deadly house fires in regions 2 and 10. Plaisance man charged with fatally shooting Olato Sam Outside Bar. In the region, far-right JAVIER MILEI wins most votes in Argentina's primary election. And internationally, WHO urges swift action as dengue cases surge in Bangladesh. Welcome to this broadcast of Channel 2's Headline News Update for August 15, 2023. I am Bibi Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. First up, Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony issued an update on Monday revealing that 6 children have recently died due to dengue infections at the Georgetown Public Hospital, prompting severe concerns and attention from health authorities. Dr. Anthony emphasized the gravity of the situation, highlighting the urgency of addressing the outbreak. He confirmed that 2 children under intensive care for dengue-related complications sadly succumbed on Sunday. While specific figures for adult fatalities were not immediately available, Dr. Anthony underscored the broader impact of the dengue surge across the Americas in recent weeks. Guyana has been no exception, recording more than 3,500 cases this year, with around 2,169 cases still active as of recent data. Health authorities have initiated widespread fogging exercises nationwide in response to the alarming rise in cases. Dr. Anthony also noted the distribution of significant number of testing kits to regional health bodies, enabling more effective monitoring of the situation. Acknowledging the role of global warming is exacerbating the dengue crisis, the World Health Organization has linked the increase in infections to higher temperatures, which foster the breeding of Aedes aegypti mosquitoes, the disease vector. As Guyana grapples with the dengue outbreak, health officials are intensifying efforts to curb the spread of the disease with fogging exercise carried out nationwide. In other news, in a significant development in the ongoing investigation into the murder of Olato Sam, 22-year-old laborer Joshua Martin Archer, also known as Joshi of Robert Road, Plaisance, has been apprehended and charged. On Monday, August 14th, Archer appeared at the Sparna Magistrates Court before Magistrate Rochelle Liverpool, where the charge was read to him. He was not required to plead and was remanded to prison. The court heard that on the evening of August 4th, Olato Sam went to the Gold Rush bar where he met 3 friends and was socializing outside the bar. Just after midnight, a fight broke out between 2 men on the opposite sides of the bar. 2 loud gunshots were heard from the direction of the 2 men and Sam fell to the ground. He was rushed to the Georgetown Public Hospital Corporation, where he was pronounced dead on arrival. Archer was subsequently arrested on August 5th. The matter was adjourned to September 26, 2023 for disclosure of statements. It is worth noting that Joshua Archer has pending matters of possession of firearm and ammunition without a license and possession of narcotics for trafficking. Trial in those matters has commenced and continues on August 24, 2023. The Guyana Fire Service is currently investigating the circumstances that led to 2 fires which occurred in Linden and Essequibo. A devastating fire claimed the lives of 12-year-old Kayla and her aunt Cheryl Moore at 2nd Street, Silverton last evening. The blaze ignited around 11 p.m., enveloping their residence on 2nd Street in a deadly inferno. With the family of 6 asleep, their rest was abruptly shattered by smoke emanating from the lower floor of their home. Amidst the chaos, some family members were able to jump over the veranda to safety. Tragically, the rescue efforts revealed that Cheryl and Kayla remained trapped inside beyond reach. As the fire attendant arrived, the fire had already consumed the building and those trapped within. Kayla recently completed the National Grade 6 assessment and celebrated her 12th birthday on the day of the horrid incident. Amidst the profound loss, allegations have emerged that the fire was deliberately set by a family member who is currently in police custody. Uncertainty surrounds the motive, leaving the investigators to piece together the pieces of the puzzle. Meanwhile, a mother and her eldest son lost their lives early this morning as a fierce blaze consumed their home in Good Hope Region 2. Sasha LaCruz and her son Isaiah Wilson tragically succumbed to the flames. Neighbors awoke to the desperate cries of fire, fire around 4 a.m. as the devastating fire ravaged the one flat concrete and wooden building. Their efforts to save the woman and her son proved futile. The cries from within gradually faded as firefighters battled to put out the flames. The Guyana Fire Service said they are working assiduously to gather all the necessary details surrounding these two incidents and will update accordingly as soon as information becomes available. Stick around when we return. Canu seized over $54 million in cannabis and tragic accident claims the life of BK security officer. Investigation on the way.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brick Dam and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Smart Minds Educational Institute, offering preschool, nursery, and primary levels. Finally, a school that is every parent's dream. Located at 69 Crow Street, offering academic excellence, trained qualified teachers, small class sizes, personalized gear, and one-to-one attention for your little ones. At Smart Minds, register for full-time or evening classes, daily practice pass exam papers for proficiency at the grade 2, 4, and 6 assessment, and CXE exam preparedness. Or join our Becca Phonics reading and writing program. So if your child is for preschool, nursery, or primary level, come to Smart Mind, located at 69 Street, or call 231-4885 or 600-9229 to enroll now.
Hello, my fellow TikToker followers. Here's credit. And today, all we will be making Chinese noodles with peppies, chow mein, chicken fritters, and spice cake. For the noodles, all these will be using peppies, black pepper, cashew,
Chinese sauce, soy sauce, garlic sauce, paprika, Chinese seasoning, chow mein seasoning, five spice, and all-purpose seasoning.
Next, this chicken that we marinate, soak for all you don't know nothing with peppies, green seasoning, miracle seasoning,
Pepper sauce, chicken seasoning, paprika, garlic powder, dark seasoning, black pepper, onion powder, and ginger powder, and document plantain flour, and then this butter we make with this quick piece powder, and we
boil in high. We serve with peppies, barbecue sauce. Radhika went to the supermarket and she papa buy up enough things. She feels she alone can cook, but she routine even wrong. She shaped like a guy in a map.
Peppies has a wide range of ingredients available at supermarkets nationwide. Peppies, we put the pep back into your kitchen.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again. Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Welcome back. Following up on a story we brought to you yesterday about an accident on the railway embankment road near Le Reservoir, East Coast Demerara, which claimed the life of 34-year-old Michael Bascom, a security officer employed at BK International Incorporated. The incident occurred around 12:10 p.m. on Monday when Bascom's vehicle crashed into a utility post. The accident involved motor pickup PYY 2329 owned by BK International Incorporated and driven by Bascom. Enquiries revealed that the pickup attempted to overtake, but another vehicle was approaching from the opposite direction. Bascom swerved southwards, causing him to lose control of the pickup, which veered into a southwestern direction, colliding with a utility pole and flipping. Tragically, Bascom lost his life in the accident. A passenger in the pickup, 19-year-old Stephen Thompson, sustained injuries and was taken to the Georgetown Public Hospital for medical attention. Bascom's body was taken to the Memorial Gardens Funeral Home, awaiting a post-mortem examination. Meanwhile, upon further Investigations. Police discovered 3 Ziploc bags containing suspected cannabis materials in the pickup. The matter is under investigation. 2 persons are in custody as the Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit officers found several bags containing over 180 kilograms of cannabis during an operation at the number 51 Village Quarantine Berbice earlier this morning. A press release from Canu noted that the bags were taken to the Skeldon Berbice office where the drugs tested positive for cannabis. This large amount of cannabis has a street value of approximately $54 million. The 2 persons remain in custody assisting with the ongoing investigations. Don't go away after the break. Floods and landslides kills nearly 50 people in India's Himalayas, and World Health Organization urges swift action as dengue cases surge in Bangladesh.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny? I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lenders, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again. Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Hello, my fellow TikToker followers. He is Credit, and today all we will be making Chinese noodles with peppies, chow mein, chicken fritters, and spice cake. For the noodles, all of these will be using peppies, black pepper, cashew,
Chinese sauce, soy sauce, garlic sauce, paprika, Chinese seasoning, chow mein seasoning, white spice, and all-purpose seasoning.
Next, this chicken that we marinated, soak for all you don't know nothing with peppies, green seasoning, miracle seasoning,
Pepper sauce, chicken seasoning, paprika, garlic powder, dark seasoning, black pepper, onion powder, and ginger powder, and document planting flour, and then this butter we make with this quick piece powder, and we
boil in high. We serve with peppies, barbecue sauce. Radica went to the supermarket and she proper buy up enough things. She feels she alone can cook, but she routine even wrong. She shaped like a Guyana map.
Peppies has a wide range of ingredients available at supermarkets nationwide. Peppies, we put the pep back into your kitchen.
Smart Minds Educational Institute, offering preschool, nursery, and primary levels. Finally, a school that is every parent's dream. Located at 69 Crow Street, offering academic excellence, trained qualified teachers, small class sizes, personalized gear, and one-to-one attention for your little ones. At Smart Minds, register for full-time or evening classes, daily practice pass exam papers for proficiency at the grade 2, 4, and 6 assessment, and CXE exam preparedness. Or join our Becca-Phonics reading and writing program. So if your child is for preschool, nursery, or primary level, come to Smart Mind, located at 69 Crow Street, or call 231-4885 or 600-9229 to enroll now.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brickdam and White Castle Fish Shop, be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Welcome back. Now we take a look at what's happening in the region and around the world. Argentina's presidential election race has an unpredictable leading candidate. Javier MILEI is a fiery, wild-haired libertarian who wears leather jackets, belts out rock songs to his supporters, and calls his political opponents thieves. Al Jazeera's Teresa Vo reports.
Anger and frustration with Argentina's political class runs high in this poor neighborhood in Buenos Aires. Horacio Perez, a retired sailor, says his $200 a month pension is not enough to live on.
We cannot buy, we cannot eat. A kilo of potatoes, a sweet potato, a tomato is unaffordable. How do we live? We cannot live like this, and worse if you're retired. I know people who line up in banks to beg for a loan. It's sad.
Inflation has been over 120% in the past year, and many residents here are quick to express their deep disappointment with what they say is the constant failure of Argentina's economy.
People in places like this one are the hardest hit by inflation and by financial instability, and many voted for the far-right candidate Javier Milei, never minding that many of the radical proposals that he has for Argentina's economy could have a huge impact on Argentina's poorest.
Milei calls himself a libertarian. He not only wants to dollarize the economy, but also shut down the central bank, which he blames for the skyrocketing inflation in the country. He also questions Argentina's free public healthcare and education systems.
Once the undecided voters are removed, we can say that we are in a balance of thirds. The undecided voters, in general, tend to be quite angry. Therefore, we have the chance to get into runoff. If we go into runoff, remember this speech, because we are speaking in the front of the next president of Argentine nation.
Argentine bonds fell around 12% on Monday. The US dollar in the parallel market seemed unstoppable, and the government devaluated its currency around 20% to cope with the market's pressure. Supporters of Milei say they voted for him because they're tired of what they call our useless politicians.
I went and bought $100 yesterday so I could save. Nobody can save here, so I sold them again. I hope there is change. Come on, Milei.
The next few months will be filled with political uncertainty, but people in Argentina fear it will translate into higher prices that nobody for now seems to be able to control. Teresa Bo, Al Jazeera, Buenos Aires.
Internationally, at least 49 people have died after torrential rains caused floods and landslides in the Indian Himalayan region of Himachal Pradesh. Dozens of people are still trapped in the mud. Unusually heavy rains and melting glaciers have caused flash floods and landslides. Al Jazeera's Michael Apel has more.
With pickaxes, shovels, and even their bare hands, rescue workers and volunteers work to save people trapped in the mud. In India's Himalayan region, heavy rains brought floods, which then triggered landslides, washing away homes.
Rains in the last 24 hours have wreaked havoc on Himachal Pradesh. In the temple near Shimla, we have identified 5 bodies. Around 20 to 22 people are still missing. We are trying everything to save the lives of those buried.
Climate change is increasingly being blamed for extreme and devastating weather events. Worshippers were on a pilgrimage to one of the holiest sites for Hindus in the state capital Shimla when disaster struck.
Here a cloudburst occurred during which the railway track and road collapsed. It's expected that beneath this there are 20 to 25 people still trapped. This is the Shiva temple, which is 150 years old. There has been a lot of damage to lives and property.
Record rainfall and the flooding it triggered has damaged roads, buildings, and forced the closure of schools, with shelters being set up for the displaced.
The situation is bad. There are continuous floods and the rivers are overflowing. There are flash floods, villages are being flooded, and people's homes have been affected.
India's meteorological department has issued a red alert for both Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand states, with more rain forecast for the start of the week. Michael Apple, Al Jazeera.
And finally, Bangladesh is battling its worst dengue fever outbreak on record. More than 87,000 infections and 400 deaths have been reported. Experts say climate change and poor sanitation are among the reasons for the outbreak. Al Jazeera's Tanveer Chowdhury reports.
As the monsoon rains intensify across Bangladesh, along with high humidity and heat, there are fears that dengue fever outbreak will get worse. Nazma Akhtar had to rush her 11-year-old son to a private hospital because she couldn't find any accommodation in a government-run hospital, a medical emergency increasingly becoming common across the country.
After he was diagnosed with dengue, within a day we rushed him to the hospital after he was going into shock. His blood platelet count dropped to a critical point and he had very low blood pressure. He is now recovering very slowly.
But many here can't afford to take their children to a private hospital.
The government should take more steps to eradicate mosquitoes. It's just not adequate, and city corporations should take more steps to keep things more hygienic and clean. I had to break my savings bond to pay the hospital expense.
The World Health Organization is calling on Bangladesh to control its mosquito population and minimize people's exposure to the mosquito-borne diseases. The increase in dengue cases is causing alarm among people in Dhaka and other places, and doctors in many hospitals are struggling to cope with the rising number of patients. Munir Hussain is a physician who says this outbreak is unlike he's seen before. There's now an increasing number of children who are getting admitted to hospitals with fluid buildup in their vital organs, causing refractory shock and eventual death.
This time the dengue situation is very critical, unlike before. Both the doctors and patients are facing much more challenging clinical issues compared to previous years.
The World Health Organization is also warning cases of dengue fever worldwide could reach record highs this year, partly due to global warming, and that half of the world population is now at risk of contracting dengue. In Bangladesh, experts say erratic weather condition and poor drainage and sanitation are partly to blame for the rise in dengue and have urged the government for more coordinated and efficient response to deal with the crisis. Tanvir Chaudhry, Al Jazeera, Dhaka.
This brings us to the end of the regional and global news coverage. Up next is the 3-day weather forecast. And that's it, TV2 Headline News for this Tuesday evening. As we take our leave, we invite you to follow us on Facebook and YouTube. You can tune in tomorrow at 6:30 a.m. for a rebroadcast and at 7 p.m. for more news. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other.